Welcome back. As the special session unfolds at the state capitol, a group of lawmakers wants to see the governor add transportation to his list of items to address. It's an area that didn't get much money in the regular session, and now a resolution aims to take half of what comes into the rainy day fund each year and give it to TxDOT, which warns the state needs to invest in roads to keep up with our growing population. So far, the governor says he's considering transportation, though he thinks it's had plenty of attention in recent sessions. Next Tuesday, KXAN is partnering with Leadership Austin for another Engage breakfast, and the topic is called Detour Ahead, Transportation for Our Region. Joining us today is Mario Espinoza from the Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority. He'll be part of the panel discussion with other transportation leaders next Tuesday. Thank you so much for coming in today. Have to ask you, what's your take on our transit situation right now?
Well, transportation continues to be a problem in Central Texas. With all the growth we've had over the last 2 or 3 decades, we just have not kept up.
Yeah.
More and more people coming in, more and more cars, and people wanting more choices in terms of how they move around.
Looking ahead to this discussion on Tuesday, what are some points that you hope to draw out in the conversation?
Well, I think the public needs to know, folks in general need to be aware that there are so many issues and so many really projects that are coming down the loop. Projects that are under study, and more importantly, projects that are currently under construction. And most of the projects under construction will be in neighborhoods really close, if not within their neighborhood, in the corridors that they take and the roadways they take to get to and from work.
Well, the first project that opened, 183A, up in the Cedar Park area, another project that just opened, phase 1 of the Manor Expressway. What are some other projects out there? And a lot of them involve managed lanes. Why is that so important?
Well, one of the next projects coming up that will begin construction, it's currently under design now, is going to be our MOPAC project. And the MOPAC project will run from Lady Bird Lake all the way to Palmer. That is being proposed, or that actually will be constructed as an express lane. With express lanes, basically, we're trying to provide reliable travel time to our drivers, and not just single occupant vehicles. That is not just vehicles that have just one driver, but buses and registered van pools will also ride free on these express lanes.
A big challenge, I know, is funding. We touched on it at the beginning of this segment. Coming out of the Texas legislative session where maybe transportation was not fully addressed, what are some other big challenges out there?
Well, in terms of transportation, of course, you're right. Funding would be the #1. And 2 is making sure that we have projects in the right corridors. As the community, as Central Texas continues to grow, we want to make sure that people can move from various core centers, from various neighborhoods to neighborhoods, from various downtowns to downtown, to be able to make that good connection and in good time.
When I say things like Austin is now the 11th largest city, 4th worst in traffic, San Marcos and Cedar Park, 2 of the fastest growing cities in the nation, what kind of thoughts does that provoke?
We're just trying to keep up with all the growth. Obviously, there's a good numbers. Those are some good facts and bad facts.
Right.
We're growing. People want to come here. Great quality of life. That's the good news. The bad news is we are the 4th worst in congestion.
It certainly sparks a very interesting conversation. Mario will be joined by other transportation leaders again next Tuesday to continue this conversation. I'll be moderating the discussion. We hope that you will join us Tuesday, June 4th. Again, this is at the Long Center. The breakfast starts at 7:30. We'd love to have you. Go to KXAN.com for information on how to attend. Mario, thanks for being here today.
Sure. Thank you, Brian.
All right.